Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is going to be a top 10 of movies that you can watch right now on Netflix UK for the month of February 2018. So let's get started. Number 10, Eastern Promises. A Russian teenager living in London who dies during childbirth leaves clues to a midwife in her journal that could tie her child to a rape involving a violent Russian mob family. David Cronenberg directs, and this movie stars Viggo Mortensen and Naomi Watts in this really interesting thriller that is punctuated by these horrifically realistic acts of violence. It's a good story, it's a nice mystery, it's more of one of these how is it going to play out? A little bit tropey in its storytelling, but because of the direction it elevates it ever so much above the average type of movie, and it's a really worthwhile thriller. Some terrific performances, and like I said, those moments of violence are wince-inducing. Number 9, Eye in the Sky. Colonel Catherine Powell, a military officer in command of an operation to capture terrorists in Kenya, sees her mission escalate when a girl enters the kill zone, triggering an international dispute over the implications of modern warfare. Great cast again in this movie. Stars a host of British actors, really big names like Alan Rickman, Helen Mirren, that kind of ilk, who are in this movie that's really quite strange. You have these satellite scenes of Kenya that add a lot of tension to it, and then you have these really tense boardroom scenes where high up military personnel discuss the implications of what they're about to do and how it may affect public relations with other countries. It's weird to see war broken down into something such trivial as the way they do in this movie, but it is highly tense and really involving. Number 8 is Shrooms. 3 couples travel to Ireland to collect magic mushrooms and trip out. On their way they meet up with some strange inhabitants of the woods, and it doesn't take long until a creepy story is being told at the campfire, which might just be more than just a story. Shrooms is a movie that I deliberated putting on this list. It's by far probably the worst movie on here, but if you're a horror fan you'll get something out of it. There is a really neat idea at the end of this movie, which the final 10 seconds kind of robs it of, but it repurposes a lot of the movie, and it's a really nice take on a sort of modern slasher. It feels a little bit tropey at the start, but when you realise later on that these are all red herrings that they've threw in, things that you've seen before in lots of other slasher movies, it's a nice little twist. Number 7, Conan the Barbarian. A quest that begins as a personal vendetta for the fierce Cimmerian warrior soon turns to an epic battle against hulking rivals, horrific monsters and impossible odds, as Conan realises he's the only one hope of saving the great nations of Hyboria from an encroaching reign of supernatural evil. I love the Schwarzenegger Conans. I'm quite fond of this one as well. Stars Aquaman as Conan. It's full of good special effects, swords and sandals and supernatural elements. It's got all the things I kind of like. If you're looking for a fun fantasy adventure movie, this is the one for you. Number 6, Bram Stoker's Dracula. A young lawyer is assigned to a gloomy village in the mists of Eastern Europe. He is captured and imprisoned by the undead vampire Dracula, who travels to London inspired by a photograph of Harker's betrothed. In Britain, Dracula begins a reign of seduction and terror. I absolutely love Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think it is a marvellous movie from its production standards to its performances, in particular Gary Oldman as Dracula. Both young and old, he takes on this role and makes it his own. It is a definitive performance, and he is chewing on the scenery, lapping it up, overacting, and it fits perfectly with this movie. Came out in '92, and to this day it's probably my favourite version of this Dracula tale. Number 5, The BELKO Experiment. In a twisted social experiment, 80 Americans are locked in their high-rise corporate office in Bogota, Colombia, and ordered by an unknown voice coming in from the company's intercom system to participate in a deadly game of kill or be killed. I probably love the idea of this movie more than the execution. It's still very good. It's a group of office employees who are put to the test, and that test is, can they kill each other to survive? And it's quite good to see the average Joes morph into killing machines, people who are just whimpering idiots or reluctant heroes, which we get here in this movie. It's got some terrifically fun gore moments as well. It's a nice entertaining movie, under 90 minutes. There's really no reason for not enjoying it. It's not one you're going to remember much after the fact, but it is definitely a lot of fun during it. Number 4, Super Dark Times. Teenagers Zach and Joss have been best friends their whole lives, but when a gruesome accident leads them to cover up, the secret drives a wedge between them and propels them down a rabbit hole of escalating paranoia and violence. Super Dark Times was one of those movies that really creeped up on me. As I was watching it, I slowly got more and more invested by this dark, foreboding future that fell ahead for both Zach and Josh. So this was a terrible accident that led to further, darker, bleaker moments in their life. There is some terrific acting on show here from the young actors. There is a horrible storyline. I wasn't quite sure where it was going to go. It surprised me, kept me interested and kept me extremely tense, and ultimately left me feeling a little bit icky, but I knew I'd seen a really good movie. I can strongly suggest checking out Super Dark Times. I think it's just that right cusp of weird, unknown, low budget movie with some terrific acting that puts it above the rest of this kind of material, and I don't really know if there's too many things similar to this. This is interesting. Number 3 is Good Time. After a heist goes awry, a bank robber spends one hectic night trying to raise the bail money to free his mentally handicapped brother from being sent to Rikers Island prison. The Safdie brothers direct this movie, with Benny Safdie acting in it as well, and Robert Pattinson, who is terrific and really envelops this character of Connie in the movie. He is the guy who's led his brother down a path he shouldn't have went on and is now trying to redeem himself and get his brother's freedom during this one night where, as you can guess, nothing's going to go right for this guy. The acting is absolutely terrific from Pattinson. The movie has this strange twist in the middle of it that I just didn't see coming, that just took me by complete surprise. It's not a movie for everybody, but if you like these kind of movies that focus on one night, a character trying to overcome a sort of trauma or deal with something, is definitely for you. And like I said, terrific performance from Pattinson. Number 2, The One I Love. A troubled couple vacate to a beautiful getaway at the behest of their marriage counsellor. But bizarre circumstances further complicate their situation as they try to save their relationship. The One I Love is a real surprise. It's primarily 2 actors. You have Elizabeth Moss and Mark Duplass. These 2 people are the married couple who go to this house in the woods, a retreat, to try and solve their marriage issues that they have. And there's this kind of like boathouse that they go out to, and whenever someone goes into this house, they find the alternate version of their partner, the best version of their partner. And the choice is, do they want their partner that is flawed, that is not perfect, or do they want the perfect version, the one that always says the right thing, the one that always does the right thing? It's a great take on a sort of romance drama, and I think it's terrific. The performances are great, the special effects are pretty good, and the storyline is just captivating. Number 1 is Personal Shopper. A personal shopper in Paris refuses to leave the city until she makes contact with her twin brother, who previously died there. Her life becomes more complicated when a mysterious person contacts her via text message. Again, I had no idea what I was getting into with Personal Shopper. It stars Kristen Stewart, and she is captivating in this movie. The movie is a sort of mix of 2 different things. It's a supernatural movie as she hunts down ghosts or proof of the afterlife so she can talk to her brother. But it's also a kind of mystery as well, as the movie primarily stops for 20 minutes midway through for a text conversation, and it is riveting, captivating. Doesn't sound it, but seeing this woman open up to a complete stranger after being very dubious to start with is brilliant. The ending leaves things a little bit ambiguous for us, which is always good, lets you interpret the thing the way you want to. I think it's a masterful movie, one that I'm going to go back to a lot, and I thought it was really terrific and worth checking out. So that's my top 10 movies for February 2018 on Netflix UK. If there's anything I've missed out, let me know in the comment box, or if you found something that you love, just let me know that this list helps you and you've found a movie that you're going to tell other people about. That's all I want to do. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.